Hi guys. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I got something I want to try out today. I want to try to make my own mask. I have these little shields. If you can see that. I have these little shields. And my thought process is if I can get it in below the nose, I can wear it inside my mask. If I put it up here, it's like touching my face. But if I get it down here, it's still covering my eyes and my nose. So let's see. Got an old t-shirt. An old t-shirt all stained up. I know they were saying like double, like take a t-shirt, fold it in half, and that was enough, but I don't think that's enough. So I'm really going to like make 4 layers instead of 2. So I wanted to leave the t-shirt whole and then fold it in half, and that'll give me my 4 layers. 4 layers. So okay, so that give me my 4 layers, and then I have to fold it in half this way because I was looking at patterns and I saw the patterns where they measure, and you can measure like with a ruler and all that. So I decided that I was going to do it my way. So from my nose to under my chin is where I want to stretch. I want a whole finger stretch like that. So I'm going to put a whole finger stretch, and I'm going to leave 2 inches on the bottom just to make sure, you know, I got enough space. I left my ink pen, darn it. So I'm going to just put a nip here so I know where that goes. And then from my ear to my nose, that's a same finger width. My finger from my ear to my nose. So I'm going to go from the front of this shirt to the back of the shirt and then give myself 2 inches on the back. So that way, when I put it behind my ear, if it's too big, I can just twist it and it'll still fit. So I'm going to come back here and I'm going to cut this back here. And then if it's too big, you can always trim it down. That's what my thought process is. If it's too big, just trim it down. But at least have more than enough fabric so that you can do that. Because if you have too little fabric, then that kind of defeat the purpose, right? So let's get this on cut. And if 4 is too thick, you can take out 1 and make it 3. I just felt better about making it 4. So it's up to you. Just in case that messed up, I have extra shirt. But okay, so this is my thought. So how they did it was like around, and then they flipped it over and cut the thing out. So I know my face ain't square, so I don't want it all the way up here like this. So I was thinking about trimming it down a little bit, like where the nose would be, how it come down like this. So I was going to come to the nose and just cut like around like that. And we'll see how that works. So it ain't up over my eyes. My eyes can be free, but I'm going to have that thing in there too. So, you know, I don't want it to be too covered up, looking like I'm, you know, trapped inside of a... So let's see how this sit on my face. All right. They do good. See there? Okay. Now, the only thing I was going to do is, because I have 4 layers, so they don't keep falling open, I just was going to put a couple stitches across the top and clean up the edges a little bit. So that's it for that. Just clean these up a little bit. They don't have to be perfect. I don't think they need to be perfect, but it's just to protect your face. Just some of these little funny looking pieces that obviously not sitting right on there. All right, let me get the needle and thread here. I'll just take this whole thing out so I don't spill it. I'm using cotton thread for this. I was going to use the other thread, but it doesn't hold very good. I don't think I want to mess with that. Use this here cotton thread. I'm just going to put a couple stitches across the top to hold my layers together so that they stay together pretty good. Now let's put that back so I don't make a mess dropping this thing. All right. Now, all right, put that in there. Yes. Okay. You know, I have to get ready to go back to work in the next couple weeks, and so I'm not going to work without a mask. If they ask me to take my mask off, I'm going to have to just leave because there is no way I'm going to be in that hospital working with my face exposed with just nothing on my face. I don't see why they think that. See, earlier on, they were telling me, "Oh, you don't need a mask. You don't need a mask. You don't have that. You're not in direct patient care." And I'm like, "Sure I am. I might not go in and see the patients. I'm not a doctor or a nurse, but every single doctor and nurse that comes out of those rooms comes straight to me for stuff. So everybody wants the secretary to do this, do that, get this, get that. They have to come up to me and talk to me, and they are exposed to those patients. So that makes me exposed to the coronavirus. So for them to tell me they don't think that I need to have protection, I feel a way about that. Now, if they choose not to wear it, that's on them. But if I'm gonna be in that setting around all those people sharing the same air, so close together, I'm wearing a mask. I'm wearing a mask, and that's just bottom line. And that's not in a nasty way. That's in my own safety, for my own safety way. You know, if they ain't gonna make the right call for me, I have to do it. So I have to look out for myself and make sure that I'm protected. Because I have to come home, and I have a sick mom I got to come home to, and I don't want to bring that stuff home. And then not only just for her safety, I have medical issues myself, so you know I don't want to put my own self in jeopardy. You know, I can't forget about myself. I just can't believe they told me that. No, you don't need protection. You're not in direct patient care. Every doctor, every nurse, every housekeeper, every x-ray tech, every phlebotomist. I mean, if you work in the hospital, you come across my desk at some point in time. So I come in direct contact of everybody. So yeah, I need a mask. And then not to mention other doctors that come in, urologists, cardiologists, you know, ENT doctors, you know, all these people that come encounter with us for different reasons, for different patients. You know, that patient, that just because that patient is here to be seen by ENT don't mean that they're not having corona symptoms or corona issues and don't know it yet. So that's the most important thing, that to make sure that you're protected. So if you are coming in contact from those people, you are protected, at least a little bit, because they still don't know how this stuff is transmitted. It could be transmitted through touch, for all we know. Might not even be air, you know, sneeze, cough. It could be just a simple touch on the shoulder, because people touching buttons in elevators, and then you come in and touch the button in the elevator, and then you sick. So ain't no telling. That's how the people in China was spreading it. Touching buttons, spitting on people's, you know, surfaces, and spreading their germs around on trains and poles. And you touch and pick it up. I don't know. I just think all of it plays a role together to create this big old mass of mess. Touch, sneeze, cough, all of it. That's why, you know, I was feeling the way about the gloves, even though the gloves you can cross contaminate, but still I feel like if you're touching so much stuff, at least if you're in a glove and you touching so much stuff, if you can have like some type of awareness, then you know not to touch certain things, but you can touch surfaces and don't touch yourself, then the gloves work. But I don't know. Like I said, I ain't no doctor. I just know what makes sense to me. I can only do what makes sense to me. All right. Almost done here. I'm halfway through this. I just still want those flaps, when you got so many flaps, they'll start dropping after some, especially a t-shirt. When you cut a t-shirt, you know how t-shirts get when you cut them. They get really lazy and floppy. And I need for this to stay sturdy and stand up when I put it on. I need to I left in the end pieces. I didn't tack down the end corners because I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to trim that away for the ear holes. But I wanted to sew this so that I can see without wrestling with this falling open, falling open, falling open. So I wanted to tack this down. If I have to go back and put a little stitch somewhere, then that's fine. But right now I want to make sure that I can actually manage it, control it. Almost there. I was watching some videos. I was watching videos on YouTube, watching people make masks. I was on Pinterest looking at how some people are making a mask, and I was like, you know what? I don't have no goggles or nothing, but I have those face shields from my customers. So when they come in and their makeup and stuff is done, so their makeup don't get ruined. That's what those shields are, makeup shields. And so I was like, maybe I could stick one of those on there. Then I saw this guy. He had the inside of his mask, because they saying change out your filters or whatever you put behind your mask to keep the air from getting back into you. He had used a panty liner. And I was like, that's probably a good idea, because when you stick that panty liner away from you, that inside of that pad probably helps so much with that moisture. You know how sometimes when you got that something over your face and you breathe and it gets hot and it feel like your face getting sweaty, and I said that's probably a good idea because it'll probably absorb whatever you sweating out, or whatever you breathing out or whatever. I was like, oh, I'm gonna try that. That might be a good idea. So that's where it sparked this whole idea. Is I saw the panty liner trick and I am going to do it and see how it works, because I thought that was really clever to put that panty liner in there to catch all that. I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely a must do. All right, I think I'm gonna tie this off right here, and then finish trying to figure out how I'm let's tie this off. How am I going to wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, and then pull it through, give you a nice old knot. All right, got my knot. I'll put that right there in case I need it, and let's fit it in my hair. I should put it in a ponytail. Okay. All right. So I can see right now that it's up too. I cut that up too high. Let me just fold it down and see how I do right here. I might have to take this little lip out. Right here and right here. Okay. All right, so fold this over, because that's where I felt the holes at on either side of my face. I'm gonna put a little nip here, if I can. Okay. And then I'm gonna do it. Did it go all the way through? Yes, it went all the way through. Okay. So I'm gonna just slice mine first, and before I cut a hole, because if I ain't gotta cut a whole hole, I don't want to. So that means I could trim some of this back part off. Remember, I ain't got no measure tape, nothing, so I gotta do this in pieces so I make sure I ain't cutting, making a mess, you know? So let's put this side on my ear. I need to cut a little bit more away. See how I got all that extra? I'm gonna cut it under here. I might need to trim this. Oh yeah, I need to cut that some more. Okay. I need to cut that right there. All right. So that is good. So I can cut this back piece off. Cut this back piece off. And now I'll figure it out. I don't want to cut that knot yet, so I'll figure that out in a minute. Me and my little tiny ears, that's what I was worried about, because my little ears, I got the tiniest little ears. Probably the only thing tiny on my whole body. My ears and my pinky finger. Okay. All right, so yeah. So we can see that I can trim that whole top right off and restitch it. And then I can trim some of this off. Right here, I can trim some of that off here. Some of that off here. Trim that off. Or do I want to just keep this and flip it in? Because, you know, I got to put that on there, so yeah. Maybe I'll just leave it flipped in. So I got 4 layers. Maybe I'll make it 2 and put the maxi pad in there. Maybe I won't need all those layers with the maxi pad because I can't imagine this being able to be blown through. But I like how it feels. It doesn't feel very extra thick or anything. I thought it was going to feel super like thick because it's 4 layers. But it's not at all. It's not thick at all. So let's trim this off. And let's trim this off. All right, get that out the way. And then we said the bottom of this can be trimmed because it was just too much around the face. So let's trim this around the face. Sorry, yeah, my mom and her mucus. All right, let's give it a whirl. Let's try that. See, and I have to be in this for a long time, so I wanted to be comfortable because I can't imagine being in this for 12 hours, but I work 12-hour shifts. So the only time I plan on taking this off is when I go to the bathroom. Get a little bit of a breather. I might just leave that. And then, so I worry because nothing really fits my face. So I want this to be kind of long so nothing's getting in the side. See there? Nothing's coming in the side. I might trim this just a little bit here. But I like how I did that. That's how I want it, just like that. So I'll probably just trim a little bit here. Oh no. I ain't doing that with my hair. Mess around, cut a whole lock off. Okay. Okay. I can handle this. All right. I might cut that. I don't know. I might. I might. It works fine, just straight across like that. I didn't think it would work straight across like that. I might cut that down and just sew it straight across. You know what I should have did? I should have did it this way. Yeah, see, that would have been better. I didn't think about that. Let me see. Is it too late? It's too late. Too late. I done already cut it. Dang, I wasn't thinking. Else I could have just flipped that upside down, and I wouldn't even have to worry about sewing it. You know, because the rough part would have been on the bottom. Oh well, lesson learned. You live and you learn. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. It's staying on there good too. Okay. Now I am gonna put a couple stitches. You guys saw that it will it didn't get lazy on me, but I don't want it to be get lazy later. So I'll just put a couple stitches across the top here. Wish I had a sewing machine. All right. And this will probably help keep my ear holes in place too. If I really want to make this look good, I should just probably sew it up the side and across the top. But I just want to try it out first to see if I like what I'm doing. If I like it, then I'll really put the effort into sewing it and making it really bulletproof. I probably feel like you're in sewing class. And get it all in there. I can't wait to put the other parts on here and see how it works. It's a clever idea. I hope it really works good. Because then I don't have to worry about the goggles and stuff. I really hate wearing glasses on my face. Like the ear. Already you're going to have these ear things on your ears. Then the earpieces from the goggles on your ears, the glasses. That's going to annoy the heck out of me. And I already know it. I don't even wear shades because of the way the glasses sit on your ears. Oh. Yeah, but my next video, I'm going to tell y'all what my plan is for returning to work and for both jobs, for my home hair salon, and for going back to the hospital. I've been thinking. I've had nothing but a month to think about it. So let's spread that back out. Make sure I ain't making it too tight. I've had a whole month to think about how I'm going to approach going back to work because I have to think about that. And then I wanted to think about how I was going to handle if because I still take clients. So not now, but when they start back being allowed to take clients, I want to still have some protection going on because I don't feel like this thing going nowhere, no time soon. I feel like it's going to be around for a while. And if I could stay off of work, I would. But I can't stay off of work no longer. I got to be able to pay bills and take care of us. So my time is up. I got to go back. I was able to at least stay off for a little while, so I didn't have to worry about, my mom getting so sick. But when we going back to work, that don't mean it can't happen. But we pray that it'll be, dealt with enough that we can start to have somewhat of everybody keep yelling, well, you still going to the grocery store? You still going to this? And I said, I go to the grocery store and I do pickup. So they bring it out to you and they put it in the car. I do not come in contact with as many people as you would come in contact going in the store. Number one, you got to get groceries. Number two, you can't just not. So you have to make some sacrifice when it comes to that. But then you got to make sure you're protecting yourself. wearing your mask, wearing your gloves, whatever. I spray when they come up to my car and they put the stuff in the car. I take my alcohol bottle and I just spray over everything. Spray everything, let it sit. And then by the time I pull out the parking lot, I spray everything again, let it sit. And then when I get home, just wipe things off and put them away. And hopefully by the time you use them, there's more than enough time for them to really, germs to go away. All right, so I need to place this on right quick. They say it lasts on the surface for so long. Here. All right. Mm-mm. Oh, this one. I need to take this off and do this. And as you can see, I'm going to breathe. Watch. Can you guys see it fog up and go away? Fog up, breathe out. Fog up, go away. Breathe in, it goes away. When I breathe out, it fogs up. Breathe in, it clears up. Ain't that funny? So that's why I'm hoping this Maxi pad will stop that. Okay. All right, so we know this is where we want that. All right, we want that right there. So this got a little peeling stick. Just reach inside, keep it where it's at, and peel it. Lay that part down. We know that's where they go, and then just glide it across. And if you got to make it a